We have Mr. Big Boy in prison. He's behind bars. He's just beautiful right out the front door at the lake. What an incredibly precious sight to see something like that. Looking right out the front door of the great room. Just, it's an incredible sight out there anyway, obviously. You look out there and you see the mountain. These dead calm mornings, the mountain, he's hearing me talking. I'm inside the house, you can tell that obviously, but he's just right there. I mean, he's 20 yards away, just enjoying the, look at that mountain reflecting on the lake. Absolutely incredible. Elk in prison. Not hardly. Totally 100% free roaming and beautiful. What a beautiful specimen God created there. Woo. Good morning, Forrest. Good morning, Mr. Forrest. Want to go to church, huh? Want to go to church with Chris and I? Look at that deer back behind him. TC, Thundercloud, Forrest's daddy. Yeah, buddy. Heard a deer blow down there. There he comes up there. I don't know what scares him. Benelli might have. Oh, Benelli's over there by Chris. Chris is riding her Jazzy out there. Benelli's right there beside her like he always is. He feels like when she's out here in the yard, she needs to protect him, I think. And she's not exactly the bravest dog in the world. There's Miss Chris sitting over there all dressed up in Sooner red and black slacks on, looking beautiful. That gorgeous lady. And there's the deer that sort of snorted and ran. Big, beautiful, giant buck. When he saw Benelli, sort of scared him. He was over close to the house, I guess. Mr. Forrest, not too concerned about anything. Beautiful 10-point. Everybody kind of waiting for the feeder to go off. Exactly. And it will shortly. Well, we look at the antlers today, and we can see that little Whitey's got a ribbon on. I took some orange tape, ribbon, whatever you want to call it, cut a piece off and tied around his neck. It's pretty loose. Here comes his partner in crime, Wild Child. I couldn't find them forever this morning. I was a little worried about them. Finally, they showed up. We'll go out and look at the other deer here in a minute. I'll put this over here. Get your head in there, baby. Get your head in there. That's a big bowl of Cheerios and apples and carrots. We'll go over and take a look at the antlers here in a minute. Apache just showed up and throwed out some more South Fresh feed. We feed them with that feeder, but then we supplement that a little bit because we got several deer eating there. And they also are eating in the wild, eating acorns and grass, and browsing on the leaves and stuff like that. But little Whitey, both of these deer are easy to see and identify from a long way off, so that's really, really good. We hope they've lived now out in the wild several days. So if they stay kind of close to home, they're probably okay. Looking at Benelli laying over there. Told her to stay, and there she is laying right there. I'll give Chris's car a bath today. Put it back in the building before the rain and storm gets here. Looks like Wild Child's maybe been already participating in the breeding process, which I think they're just fooling around right now is all. They come out here and take a look at what bucks are here. We don't have full contingency today, but Mom and her baby's out there. Hi, baby. Following right behind me here, wanting a little loving. Yeah, following right behind me here, wanting a little loving is my girl. You want a carrot? Is that what you want? You want a little hand feeding carrot? Is that what you want, girl? Yeah. Yeah, well, come here. Let me Set them down over there. I've only got one hand. I don't have a tripod. I only have one hand. Let me get in here. This is what that baby's wanting. She's wanting a little personal attention. Whitey is eating off out of the bowl over there. Hi, baby. She's wanting to be a little personal feeding there. Oh, the girl, yeah. There you go. I'm surprised that Forrest didn't come over here. No, she's scarfing those carrots. Chew them up, girl. You just need one at a time. Come here, come over here. She knew I had carrots. Little Whitey's over there eating out of the bowl. And she's eating the carrots here. I thought maybe Mr. Forrest would come and get a few carrots. When he hears crunching, he usually heads toward the crunching. That's a deer call, is crunching carrots. Okay, baby. That's enough for right now. I gotta go take pictures of some antlers, okay? You just wait a minute. Okay, looks like we only have 4 bucks here this morning. And the doe and her baby. And they're trying to keep the baby away from the baby and the doe away from the food. TC, he's a food glutton. Kind of take a look, see if anybody's broke off during the fights. They're beginning to fight. I don't have any fights on video yet. And it's pretty violent when they fight. There's no doubt about that. But you can see just how beautiful Lucky 13 is there. He is just going to be a fantastic. I sure hope he breaks nothing off. Wild Child's licking on my legs. She's going to go over there and see if she can get in on some of the food. There's Whitey come up. He wants some loving too. These babies right here just love to be loved on. Look at him licking on my arm. Just love to be loved on. Yeah, he's going to maybe get a little attitude about himself also. But he probably won't participate much in the rut. See him lower those horns out. I don't want that happening. No, I don't want to play with your horns. You're too dangerous. And Wild Child gonna go over there. She goes over there, now she come back over for some loving. But anyway, looking at those horns there, again, take a look at the antlers. Now she's over here licking on me. And they're beginning to feel a little bit. See the little baby in there beside that big buck, isn't that pretty? He's beginning to feel a little bit of testosterone starting to flow in him as well. Such a pretty boy. Even though you broke off a couple little tips. Just broke the tip though, that's not bad. Look at the baby looking over here at us. The baby says, I'm gonna go on the other side and get somebody between me and Jimmy. Pretty cool that wild deer, like those two, the doe and her baby, have Mr. Forrest is just such a specimen. Just such a specimen. They're getting bigger all the time. His daddy TC, huge 300-pound deer. Not gorgeous antlers, but big. With the 2 young ones right there, No Name, which is that one right there. It looks like he does not have a tag, but he does. Difficult to see. And of course, Lucky 13. Both of those really, really something. Fat Boy doesn't come around too often. He roams a lot. He covers a lot of territory. And he's here sometimes, and sometimes he's not. But the antlers are looking good. Golly. I sure hope that boy makes it 2 or 3 years. He will be something really, really special. That deer, if he could live to be 5 or 6 years old, could get up to around between 250 and 300 score or more. He could be a giant. Just got to keep him alive. That's easier said than done in the wild. Mr. Forrest, pretty big as well. No Name, going to be special, really special. Same age as Forrest, going to have a lot more scoreable points. Well, it looks like we have 3 full-grown bucks right here. Make that 4. Make that 4. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Looky there. 4 big, beautiful boys. Big, beautiful boys. Now, that deer there is one that hasn't been around, the one right in the middle there. Of course, you know, No Name over there. We're calling No Name, and then Mr. Forrest. And that other buck is just, he's a big one that's just coming around. And he is definitely pretty tame, obviously, right on top of him here. I think that probably belongs to TC. I think that's one of TC's boys more than likely. And was Forrest, all antlers, and Lucky 13, which is just going to be spectacular. Look at that kicker going out on that side, his right side, our left as we're looking at it. No, don't be putting your head, hey. Don't be putting your head down to me. Don't be doing that. Hey, don't be doing that. I'll give you something to eat, but you don't be getting too aggressive with those antlers. You hear me? I'm going to have to turn this off for a minute. You see him lower that head down? I'm telling you, that's pretty aggressive. That's pretty aggressive. I'm going to lay that right in there. I just got one hand. Looky there. And he's just aggressive over that food. He's just trying to tell me he wants that food. He doesn't like to eat it off the ground. Now he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I don't want to get... Only had one hand. We got this wire to keep that elk out, to keep those elk out of there. But I'll just pull over here and take a real good look at these boys. This is up super close, pretty windy. Put the microphone on, I hope it's working. If it's not, you won't see any of this. Did you see how aggressive he was getting though with those antlers? Just over food. Yeah, that's got that one bad side on it. That's got to be, he's got 2, 4, 6, 7 on one side. And 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other. Well, really 5, one coming off the top of his head there. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. Yeah, but both sides were like that one. He would really be a dandy. But that TC just not anywhere near the deer that he was supposed to be. I kind of didn't get a fair shake on that probably, but that's okay. That's okay. Mr. Forrest come out pretty good. And TC's his daddy. He come out really good. So you never know. Just never know. But isn't he a big, gorgeous, beautiful buck? Can be a little dangerous. Can be a lot dangerous, not a little dangerous. As long as he's got food. I think as long as I got some food to give him, if he attacked, I could give him food and he'd quit attacking. Anyway, that's what we're looking at here this evening. 4 beautiful bucks. TC's not here. Probably got women on his mind. Well, as Chris and I sit up on the porch and watch things happening out in the yard and in the woods this evening. 2, 4, 5. It looks like we had one more deer show up. I'll just walk out here and take a look. See who showed up. Oh, TC showed up. Yeah, TC showed up. There he is right there. We talked about him not being there. There he is. If you look around that tree. There's Mr. TC. Boy, that's a father-son pair right there, isn't it? Isn't that gorgeous? That is absolutely gorgeous. A father-son pair. 5 beautiful bucks out here. Look at those 2 right there. Sakes alive, look at those 2. Isn't that beautiful? My. Get any prettier than that? 5 big, beautiful bucks. The wind died down. It's close to dark. I guess Wild Child, little Whitey, went off somewhere for the night. hopefully they'll be safe another night and learn a little bit more about living in the wild. Wild child's liable to get put back in the rest. I gotta tell you. Yeah, look at the bucks come up to Apache. Of course, Forrest, Apache's his buddy, just like me. You can see 4 bucks come up there. There were 5 out here a little bit earlier, and only 4 now. It's a little later in the morning, but you can see that. I'm gonna get some more better clips to put on there. We got wire on it, and it's working. It's keeping them out of there so far. Now the wind blowing there. Don't like that wind blowing. Try to block it off if I can a little bit. Of course, your rack won't fit in there. Look at him eat out of that. That's what he likes right there. He'd rather do that than anything. And the others out there, they're impatiently waiting. Apache, that's what I do too, put a pile down for him there. Now I saw the mama and her baby out there. Oh, there they come, right up there. I didn't see them coming. That little baby, she's learned to get up here and eat with them. We're having to wire that shut now. 1, 2, 3, 4 bucks. The other buck is out looking at the ladies and missed his morning meal. Actually, this is the second morning meal. The feeder's already gone off once. So we are going to be filling the feeders out in the woods. Bow season is already open, but it's been so hot. Even my partner and his grandson, Tyler, has not been down hunting yet, but probably might be here this weekend, this coming weekend. Still several days off, but I want to make sure that I have feed in the feeders for them. They obviously won't be hunting these bucks up here around the house, but there's plenty of big bucks out there. These here, Steve said, Jimmy, you make pets out of all of them. I guess that's true. I don't know how long they'll do it with me out here talking, but we have a little sparring going on there. It's not a full-fledged fight, just a little sparring between my little Whitey and No Name or Lucky 13. You can see that the larger deer, body-wise, weight-wise, and little Whitey looks over here. You can see the major difference, but you can see the deal there, and you can see how you get in trouble, even with a deer that's friendly, because those are weapons on top of their head, and you can see how he's pushing him around there. And oh, little Whitey says, I'm gonna go see my boss. I'm gonna come over here and see my boss. He said, I've had all of this I could stand, honey. You're not big enough for that. And here comes his pseudo sister coming running over here also. All right, if you'll wait, I'll go fix you. And then here comes Forrest. Oh me, this is gonna be fun the next few weeks. And little wild child's coming over here. Now little Whitey's thinking about going back out there. I don't have their bowl fixed yet. I will go fix a bowl here. That's lucky number 13. It's not No Name, it's lucky number 13. It's really kind of hard to tell those deer apart, you know, unless they're together. That's lucky number 13, which is a year older than little Whitey. He's a year younger than Forrest, so he's not about to tackle Forrest, but he's a year younger, a year older, and quite a bit heavier body-wise. Oh, you don't want to go over there and mess with Forrest now. I'm just gonna, they're beginning to feel it, no doubt about that. You can see that little Whitey come up here really close too. Forrest, he's right up here at the edge. And little Whitey's still wanting to do some little fighting. He's found somebody he's big enough to whip. Lots of good stuff going on. Lots of good stuff. We're going to see lots happen. A lot happen over the next 3 or 4 weeks. And it's the danger zone for these deer. There is the elk that we got, elk and her baby, that we got a little video of nursing in the front yard. We just saw something happen a few minutes ago and did not get any video of it. I actually carried my phone in the other room. That elk was out in the front between here and the lake. And I saw her out there a little earlier. And I'd carried my phone in the other room and laid it down. And Benelli was outside. And I walked back in here and looked out, and Benelli was sitting in the front yard, probably 30 yards away from that cow elk and her baby. And just sitting there. She wasn't messing with them at all, anything. And I thought, well, that'd be a cute deal right there. And I looked around. I'd left my phone laying in there. And all of a sudden, that elk took off toward Benelli wide open. And, of course, Benelli took off wide open the other direction and come running through the dog door 100 miles an hour. It was so funny. It'd been so cool to have that on video, but I didn't get it on video, so I'm just telling the story. But quite a deal right there, I guarantee you. You can see the little baby now has walked out from behind those limbs there. You can see the front of it, but that cow elk, I don't think has to worry too much about coyotes. I guess a pack of coyotes might get them down on the ground. If that ever happened, they could kill an elk. But I tell you what, one coyote will not have much of a chance of getting that baby elk. And that baby's pretty good size, of course. But I did not see him nursing this morning. But what a cool deal that was. Sure wish I could have shared that with y'all. Well, I did share it, just without the video. Little Whitey has come back. And Mr. Big has gone off over there to the feeder. And he doesn't know what's going on. You see him there on the other side of that hummingbird feeder with 4 of the other bucks. And you can see right here what friends. Benelli. Yeah, that's your name. And little Whitey is. And now Wild Child walked on off down into the woods. They don't go very far away. Actually, last night they slept under the awning in between building number 2 and 3. And that's a pretty safe place for them. I just don't think a coyote will come up there. That's pretty precious right there, though. Those guys are friends. Hey, Benelli, no. He didn't want to share. You already been chased by a big, uh-oh. Here comes Mr. Force coming back over here again. And he will come over and obviously run him off. And here he comes. I'm going to get the bowl picked up before he gets here. There he is right there. I'll throw him a carrot. And that's about it. Yeah, you can have a couple of carrots and that's it. You have a couple of carrots, okay? There you go. You don't get anything else out of the bowl. I'm going to save it for the big deer, the baby deer. You were a baby once and you were treated just like this. You got to eat. No. You got to eat out of the bowl. He's coming right up here. I said I wasn't going to do that, and here I am doing it. Okay, that's enough. That's enough for right now. That's enough for right now. He would probably walk right up here on the porch, so I'm going to go on inside. Look at this. You be careful, Benelli. That's a weapon on his head. Hey, that will wrap up this week's Antlers videos. We've seen a lot of things happen out there. Obviously, the antlers aren't changing right now unless they break something off, which 1 or 2 deer have done, but they don't break off much until it gets a little bit later. The horns get a little bit more brittle as they get down later into the year, and they fight a lot more. They are starting to fight right now. Should have some video this next week, perhaps, of some of the bucks around the yard here duking it out. They start sparring and sort of playing fighting. They kind of remind me sometimes of a couple of brothers that get wrestling around and, you know, picking on each other, and they get to fight, and then pretty soon one of them pops one of them in the mouth a little bit hard, and the other just rears back and fight. Pretty soon they're fighting. They're really fighting. That's sort of what happens with these deer. They're sort of playing around, sparring, kind of developing a little bit of a superiority over each other. But later on, they will fight to the death. So they're probably going to be fighting a lot in the next few weeks. We'll try to get as much of that as we possibly can. We've got a lot of bucks hanging around the house. Remember, guys and girls, I sure do love you.